share, my friends. Stay a little while. We're here for fun and drinks, a little buzz, a lot of laughs. So leave your attitude outside. We don't need it on this path. Raise your glass, forget your pride. Let the small stuff slide. We're here for fun and drinks. Leave your attitude outside. She's cracking that same joke for the third time tonight. All right. But everyone's still laughing, 'cause the feeling's just that light. If you came to start a battle, you took the wrong ride. We only fight for who's buying the next ring tonight. We're here for fun and drinks, a little buzz, a lot of laughs. So leave your attitude outside. We don't need it on this path. Raise your glass, forget your pride. Let the small stuff slide. We're here for fun and drinks. Leave your attitude outside. Life's gonna knock you down plenty when you step back out. Oh yeah. But in here the only drama is we're running low on style. So check your ego, check your phone. Let the evening be your guide. If you can't chill, you're better off taking one more step outside. We're here for fun and drinks, a little buzz, a lot of laughs. So leave your attitude outside. We don't need it on this path. Spin your worries in a circle, watch them fade like the tide. We're here for fun and drinks. Leave your attitude outside.
Hello, everybody. Hope you can hear me. I know the end of that didn't go so great, but hey, I'm on time. Hello, Bobby. Nice to see you here. Heidel, thanks for modding. Frank, good to see you. Yeah, I'm glad you're here for moral support. Yeah, good to see you. Bobby, I hope you are feeling a little bit better. It's, yeah, this time of year it can be tough too. Well, yeah, make sure and do all the stuff that Heidel says, or else she gets cranky. So we don't want her that way. She was kind of that way last night. Yeesh. Yeah, she was all picking on us, but that's okay. So, well, in a little bit, we'll get started with. I was going to have a little more serious kind of conversation tonight, but not too serious. I don't want to be a downer or anything. But today is Rare Disease and Disorders and Syndrome Day, or whatever they call it. So, oh, hello, Grandma's here in the house. That's good. Nice to see you. And I know a lot of us saw the other day that, you know, on AJ's, and Carmen was talking about it, that AJ's granddaughter has Cat 6A, a rare syndrome, we'll call it, because, like they said, she's doing well and they think she's going to really do well. So we don't want to call it more than what it is. Yeah, it's nice of you to be here, Grandma. Yeah, I'm glad you could stop in. I'll have to stop back over and play games again pretty soon. It's always fun. Oh, um, no, so yeah. So and I was just thinking because there's a lot of different, like, kind of different, levels of these rare diseases and syndromes and how they affect people, and so I kinda wanted to talk about what mine is, that I've known about it pretty much my entire life that I had this, but it wasn't something that really had a provable way of telling till the last, like, 20 years, and then now yeah, it's kinda it still takes a bit of looking to figure it out for sure. Yeah. So, but we'll just make sure that people and someday somebody might be searching on YouTube and figure out, wonder what, they hear somebody say myoclonus dystonia or whatever, or anything about rare diseases and just what do you do, you know, how do you react? Um, and I don't want it to be like, oh, Gabby, great to see you in here. Yeah. Um, thanks for spreading it around too. But yeah, so we'll get into that and we'll start out with a joke or two though, just to lighten things up. I don't want it to be too down or anything. It's if I can find a decent one. Oh, since we all really like court stuff. And what did the judge say to the dentist when he went in for an extraction? I want you to remove the tooth, the whole tooth, and nothing but the tooth. Wah, wah. That one wasn't very good, was it? We need a better one than that. Some of these are really bad. I guess I shouldn't search for bad jokes. Maybe that would be better. My friend has been engaged over 5 times but never married. That's a lot of near misses. Hey, now that one's good. I like that one. Mm, yeah. Oh, did you hear the Pope recently contracted the bird flu? He got it from one of the cardinals. Oh, I'm killing myself. What did the meatballs tell the spaghetti to go to sleep? It was pasta bedtime. And I'm sure the pasta was snapped in half. What do you call a Mexican salamander that's always eating between meals? A snacksalado. Okay, that's bad. That I will stop on that one for now. We'll go to actual content of what I wanted to talk about. Yeah. Take care, Grandma. Yeah. Hope this turns out halfway decent and doesn't sound too too bad. We'll see how it and Frank has I worked as a receptionist once at a jaundice clinic, but I got let off because I always answered the phone by saying "Yellow." My mom does that too. Yeah, she wouldn't last very long. Okay, I'll add this up to stage. Okay. I might not be completely in on the whole, on chat. I'll do my best watching it, but I wanna read some from this, so I'll try to. Okay, what I have is called Myoclonus Dystonia syndrome. It's kind of it's weird because I don't know. Yeah, we'll start with myoclonus dystonia is a movement disorder that typically affects the neck, torso, and arms. This is from the NIH.gov rare disease info. Individuals with this condition experience quick involuntary muscle jerks or twitches. That's myoclonus. What it feels like is if you have um, when they do your reflexes, when they test them, it's like having that done, but just randomly all the time. And it's usually like my neck and head and can be my shoulders and my hands. But okay, I gotta check. Gabby's got a joke. It's a Dare's favorite. On why are there no pregnant Barbies sold? Because Ken comes in a different box. Okay, now, Gabby, we're trying to keep this nice. We're now I'm trying to keep this nice for people that are looking for information. This is serious, not very. Hey, if they can't take a joke like that, they're gonna. I'll tell you, that's one thing. You better be able to take a joke if you got something like this. You better be able to accept things. Okay, so now I've told you what it feels like to me. About half the individuals with myoclonus dystonia develop dystonia. Not all of them have it. It's involuntary tensing of the various muscles that cause unusual positioning. It's like writer's cramp and stuff like that, or the neck turns. I do have a slight neck turn, but it's not that bad that I have kind of my neurologist did ask if I wanted to do Botox in a couple muscles that would help relax that, but I I don't it doesn't affect me day to day. I don't notice it. He could tell looking at me and stuff, and people can, I guess. I don't notice it. So it wasn't something I wanted to. Yeah, Heidel might have to go Hydra. So I don't that part of it doesn't bother me, but I do get writer's cramp kinda, and, like, I'll go to put something like, when I cook, it can be a pain that, like, I tense up and have trouble, and I'll tell you, this is not an easy thing to talk about. That's why I'm doing this in kinda one big stream that we will get this through, um, I, yeah, it kinda it's not really like writer's cramp that it hurts right away. It can after a while, but yeah, and no, and Frank, there's no, don't be sorry that you haven't heard of it too. It's it's like right now they're thinking about 1 in 100,000, maybe, at most. Yeah, it can be like writer's cramp all the time. I don't have it that bad. My dad did in his because this is genetic, we'll get to that. He would have and he was left-handed, and his left hand, he had issues with quite a bit of the time, where it wouldn't really cramp up, it just your hand just stayed in that position and stuff, it would. Um, and I kinda have a video that I found of somebody not with the but with the movements, and so you can see what because I don't have it really bad. I am at my worst, I will be like half of what the one I'll show you, and yeah, and, but I have a sister who is quite bad, and my brother's about like me. There's yeah, so out of 6 kids in the family, 3 of us got it, which is just what kind of the genetics say it will, but okay. But the worst part about it is just the movements. It's just these involuntary spasms that just jerk. They're just like somebody is testing your reflexes, and so you move. There's no way of stopping it, really. And your head turns and stuff, and they it the movement problems usually first appear in childhood or early adolescence. I don't really remember when mine started with the myoclonus. I think it was sometime when I was, you know, in grade school. Um, so that is when but I didn't really notice it till like junior high when it was pointed out to me quite clearly that I had something, you know, kids can be cruel. Yes, like it jerks. I mean, I'll show you a video that illustrates it better than I can because at times I can kind of, if I get really mellow and try to, it's not so bad, but then it can get, if you watch some of my painting videos, I do have some pretty good jerks in that. So, okay. Yeah, don't want that. Yeah, they appear in like adolescence and then, but once they start, they get to a point pretty quickly where they remain stable through life. There's a big issue with this. There's one drug that works very well for some people at medicating for this. In some adults, myoclonus improves with alcohol consumption, which leads to affected individuals self-medicating, developing alcohol use disorders. Um, that is quite a problem. It does not help me that much. I don't notice when I drink that it helps me. It does help some of the people in my family, and they have used it that way. I have not. Um, some are very good about controlling how much they use it. Some of them had to get help to not use it so much. Um, yeah, because it can be an issue. Because hey, if you can go from not moving to or from moving to not moving, you know, that's quite a from just an over the counter medications, you know. And I am gonna name some of the medications that I have been taking and stuff and trying. I tell everybody I am definitely not a medical expert. I am just going to say what I have tried that my neurologist has prescribed to me. I will not tell amounts or durations that we've tried really or much, but just what they were. You have to, if anybody in the future that has this checks this out, you have to definitely go through your doctor because they are not fun medications always. But yes, it does have a lot to do. It's actually kind of in the same ballpark in dealt with as Parkinson's, and you get Parkinson's medications and anti-seizure medications, which are not the most fun things. So, yeah, but no, the alcohol thing, if it helped me a lot, I could see that that would be a problem, but it doesn't help me a lot. It does help me with the next part. People with myoclonus dystonia often develop psychological disorders such as depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and obsessive compulsive disorders. With that, it does the alcohol does help a little, but it helps everybody with that. So, okay, we'll go to, you know, what causes this disease? It's a genetic mutation. This is a very generic thing talking about excuse me, genetic mutations. It's a hereditary one. It and the strange thing, and I have that on another thing. We'll get to that later. And it's can disease be passed down? Yes, it can. It's and it's a dominant gene. It so if and it's a strange dominant gene that so you got a 50-50 chance if one of your parents has it. But we'll switch to another one here just for a second. Hey, Haley Mouse, nice to see you in here. Great to have you here. Yeah, yeah, Gabby. It's I mean, definitely. I have my issues, let's say. Okay, we're gonna remove this one for a second. And okay, I got it. Oh, where's the freaking oh, okay. Maybe this one will work then. Hopefully. Okay. Nope, that didn't change it to the one I wanted it to. Share this tab instead. I think now it'll share this one, hopefully. Yep. Okay. Uh, yeah, you can have tremors with it too. I don't, not really true tremors. Does not affect like intelligence or shorten lifespan in the, but it does cause the, yeah, some things that can make it so that there are risks for shortening lifespan lifespans, let's say that. Um, oh, Bobby's being nice. Isn't doing anything too bad, is he? Oh, and, yeah, and they can yeah, even in the same family, it's weird how different it can be, and that sometimes it's just voice even, that there's some members of my family that have more, like, voice cracks, and that's their main thing with it. It's not even the other movements. Oh, there's one here now if I can find what causes it. Maybe that's where it is. Yes, here it is. MD often affects several members of the generations of family, demonstrating a clear genetic component. And it does come down from my grandfather had it, my dad had it, two of his two brothers had it. I found a letter written by my great grandfather. He definitely had it. You could tell by the signature and stuff. Yeah, Haley, they're not really painful as far as they don't hurt. It's just it can get uncomfortable. If you have like when you're not feeling well, it hurts. Like if you have a headache already, it really doesn't feel good to have your head whipping around or something, but it doesn't hurt in the general everyday. Hey, memento mori, mori. Nice to see you. But in this, okay, the gene that is causes it is in the SGCE gene. Now, here I'll tell you my road to getting it because nobody in my family had really, like my brother had years ago tried to get it diagnosed, but it was before the DNA stuff was really known. So, um, now that I had some issues and wanted to get it figured out. Yeah, they're not like spasms really, they're just it's more like you're getting your, uh, reflexes checked, and it feels like that. Okay, first when I went to my, um, neurologist, we kind of I told her what I thought it was because I had read up a lot, and I thought it was this myoclonus dystonia, and she said, "Yeah." She was, like, on that same path, but she said, "We will get to that for treatments." Not really, but there kinda are. Um, but not really. Um, but she said, "First, you gotta kind of" she wanted to make sure there weren't any lesions or anything that would cause issues. So, we did MRIs first, which at the same time, I found out I had a totally unrelated thing. I had I have, um, rheumatoid arthritis, and it was hurting quite a bit yet. We had just started treatments for that while I'm trying to do this other stuff, figure that out. They are not related, not thought to be at least. But sitting in an MRI for because it was a pretty major MRI session for about 2 hours was oh man, it about killed me. And then all they did was said, "Yep, everything looks normal," which it was nice to know they found a brain. That's about all I found out about that. Then I had blood tests done, a lot of blood tests. They took a lot of vials, and nothing showed up odd about that. Then I had a genetic test done, and that came back with nothing other than I had a gene for Parkinson's, but I only had one of them, and they said it took 2 for it to be an issue, and they said that wasn't an issue, so don't worry about that. But they said that one wasn't, probably good enough, that it wasn't quite as sensitive as what they probably should have done right away, or they couldn't do first, the really sensitive one. So then we did a more sensitive one and compared it to some other family members, and then they found in the SGCE11 gene a mutation. And they said normally the whole gene is kind of screwed up, or quite a bit of it. And they said think of the gene as like a paragraph. And they said this one, mine was just like a couple words are screwed up, just a very small part. So it took a very sensitive test to find just that small little screw up in there. And the genetic counselor said that from what he could find, there had only been 2 families that have ever tested positive for this genetic flaw before. So it's like, yeah, that's even I have a rarer form of a rare form. So it's like, yeah, it's somewhere between they say, yeah, 1 in 100,000 and 1 in a lot more. I don't know. Hey, Squid, nice to see you in here. Yeah, we're going through what this is, Myoclonus Dystonia. It's real interesting though that you have to get it from your father. If your father has it or has the gene, even if he doesn't show symptoms of it, you have almost 100% chance of showing symptoms. If your mother has it, even if she's showing symptoms, or yeah, yeah, even if she's showing symptoms, only 5% of the kids from that will develop symptoms. So there's something that makes it only from a paternal side that it really gets activated. And so yeah, it's kind of it's a very, it's a little odd in that. And now I don't want to get into too much, um, like with my family, but there are, it is kind of holding true, let's say, to that. We'll see if it does as the kids get older. Yeah. Yep, Squid, we will have to collaborate sometime. This one at least doesn't cause too much pain. It just causes other issues. We'll get to some of that here. And here's where it shows like when, you know, myoclonus dystonia syndrome begins. And most it's in like, I would say like the 2 to 11 is probably, I've heard about some as the young as 3 in my family. I know by the time, I don't really know, but I've looked back when, like, me writing as a kid in grade school, and I definitely had it, but not real as bad as I did once I got to junior high, and then it leveled off, you know? And like I said, kids aren't nice junior high on. That was not a great time in my life. So, there are some people that get it later in life. That's not very common. It's usually something else if you get myoclonus or myoclonic jerks at that time in your life, but now with the problem that I can almost take the physical what you see. I mean, I would rather not have them. It keeps me from doing things. It makes my painting harder. It makes cooking harder, you know? You don't like to, you know, cut with a knife all the time if you're I got might jerk and I mean, I've cut myself plenty of times and, stuff like that, but it's not that stuff isn't horrible. There's a few things I really like to do that I just can't do because I'm not steady enough, you know. Man, I don't know what my parents thought when we were kids that my s and it wasn't just for me and my sister. My sister and I were really bad at that. Remember that game Operation? We could not do that. We were buzzing all the time. If we could get one thing out of a hole in the body without making it buzz horribly, we were happy. It was like that was a big win for us. We never won that game. Well, hi, Gail. Good to have you here. Mm, But no, anxiety is a big. It always has been. It was before, and it's a frequent thing with this. I've always wondered if it was because I can remember the anxiety even before I was uh, before I ever had any kind of anything brought up by kids or anything. I was a very shy and reclusive kid. My social anxiety is off the charts. Um, it's getting better. This kind of stuff helps, but it's still I'm not real comfortable. It's much easier talking to a microphone in a room than going. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to a auditorium to talk. Mm, excuse me. Um, so yeah, the anxiety part I definitely have. Compulsive behaviors, like they talk like OCD. I don't have anything really like OCD. I have more like I can compulsively, um, yeah, I have trouble letting things go. It's more like that. And yeah, so I don't know if that's the same thing, but I think it's got that. Gail just got to the cardinal joke. That's nice. Oh, that's good. Oh, yeah, Frank. Yeah, chronic depression just stinks. Yeah, yeah. I have more like obsessing, not that I have OCD. I just obsess, and it leads to things at times, and it has. I've lost friends over it, and because with the anxiety, I will. It just sucks. And as much as you can try to explain to people and try to prepare them and say, hey, just tell me to back off or to, hey, you're doing it or something. And they'll say, no, no, you're fine. And then one day it's like, yeah, I don't want to be around you anymore. So, yeah, squid. Yeah, a lot of chronic diseases have kind of an obsessive behavior. Yeah. And it can just be that you get tired of it. yeah, and depression, it just because it's and the biggest thing with this is that there's not and we'll get to that with the any kind of, uh, treatments, um, that even with that, that once you look at it, there's there are some, and they're trying things, and and I I think the world of my neurologist. She has been great with me. Oh, Gabby Lee. Oh, Gabby, we'll talk to you later. Glad to see that you were in here for a while. Yeah, you take care. Um, but yeah, just with that, but it's beyond that. It's just that, yeah, and like here, the a feeling of a pervasive sense of shame, low self worth. I mean, oh, that's been a huge problem in my life, you know, and I've only been dealing with this now really for a year. Basically, I'm at the like 1 year of trying to deal with this stuff after 40 years of not dealing with it. And that kind of, yeah, that wasn't I always thought it was a great thing not going to a doctor for decades. And I decided that wasn't such a great thing now. It kind of, it did not end up being the best thing. Yeah, this is just a bunch about your healthcare team, but yeah, and it's time to get a second opinion or specialized. My neurologist has been great, and she is very interested. She is always reading up and checking new things, and she did find a different medication to try recently and stuff that has been showing promise, and so, but we'll go show now. We'll stop sharing that a minute. Go back to the studio. See if I can get this to actually share now what I want it to share. Okay, this will show. This is kind of a this will be a bit of a um just a second. This is kind of a pretty bad case. This is not the worst. Yeah. Say yes to the Botox. Squid doesn't need it anymore. She's got her cow fat she's rubbing on her face. She doesn't need the Botox anymore. Yeah. Don't you just love when Squid when you have to remember medications and stuff now? I never like I would like be if I took like, you know, Tylenol or something once or twice a month, it was a lot, and now I take like a handful of pills every day, or it feels like it. Maybe it's not as much as, but I ain't that old. 56. I shouldn't be, and I'm actually quite healthy. My my cholesterol is great. My lungs and heart are fantastic. I, you know, doctors are happy with my weight and stuff. My blood pressure is super. If anything, it's too low. I mean, yeah, it's like, I don't, yeah, it's just that I have these stupid. other things. Do I experience side effects? Yes, we will get to that one. Pretty soon I'll go through my some of my meds, and we will. Yeah, I know. I'm dealing with it now, so yes. Yeah, I do take some supplements too, daily, so it's not, but now this is kind of a worse this is worse than I am, this kid. I'll wait till if Squid is back so that she sees it. When I was probably if I'm sick, I might get close to the oops, sorry. I might get close to this, but not I would have to be feeling really bad because if I'm feeling really bad and maybe I'm not eating right, it'll get worse, but I'm not this bad. Mm, at my sister is close to this. It's yeah, it's kind of a and there is no sound to this anyways. This was from, on YouTube, uh, what was the darn doctor's name? I don't know, it was some doctor, I'll say after it, so I have not always had a wonderful attitude about this gal. It it's I am I am I'm trying to survive this now and be better. I was and it's because of a couple people that I'm trying to survive. So, I found out that there might be more to life, and I would kinda like to know about that. So, yeah. But okay, we'll play this now. But this is like a much worse case than me. But this is my sister is probably 2/3, 3/4 at least this. If you told her to sit still, this is what she'd look like, because if you tell us to not move, we're not gonna we don't stay still very well, and you can kind of see his fingers moving weird, and the head going side to side, and I mean, yeah, it's yeah, you can kind of even see in his fingers how the joints. Now mine don't do that, but that would be the dystonia, where in his fingers it's like they're actually rigid and over kind of yeah flexing beyond what they should be because he's trying to stay still and it just won't stay still. You just can't. I mean, like if I try to shoot a rifle, this is what I look like. But that's my worst when I try to do that. Or my sister, like she is so lucky. She has a wonderful husband who is very good about like she can't carry a bowl full of soup from like a counter to a table. It's just not gonna happen. I drop a lot of things. I I spill a lot of stuff. It just sharing that. Gotta go back, and I want to see what the doctor's name on that was. Oh, it's Doctor Prodigious. That's a different name. Doctor Prodigious. I'll even give him a like on that because that was a very good one of kept showing. Okay, we'll go back now and support does make, and that's part of the problem with when I mean growing up in the 70s and 80s with this. It there was nobody knew what it was. There was no genetic test then. And there was nothing, they called it a movement disorder. That's all they knew. Um, yeah, there was nothing like that. That I got to see if the one had some, like, the one doesn't even have much for treatments that you can do. Uh, okay, that one has some stuff. It says we'll show that. I can get that up there. Yeah, and Frank is, yeah, from early puberty, I felt I didn't belong. I still don't, but I don't care anymore what others might think of me. Thankfully thankfully, I managed to get that far. Yeah, see, it's tough for me to not getting over the hump of not caring what people think of me is very hard. That would be that's very difficult. I mean, it's believe me, I am trying there. That's that's been a thing. That's what we want to share. Well, okay, there we go. I can go back to this and like here it says at this time there is not yet a cure for myoclonus dystonia, but treatments are available to help minimize symptoms. That's what you try. Treatments must be highly customized to the individual. Each component of the MD, the myoclonus, the dystonia, and the mood component requires attention for complete care and the most positive result. Therapies typically include oral medications and the Botox injections, complementary therapies such as physical or occupational therapy may support medical treatments. So see there, Squid, you could help. And oral medications that may be helpful for the treatment of myoclonus dystonia include benzo, benzotripine, whatever, clonazepam. There are a bunch of. I'll give you what they are. There are a bunch of either stuff for um, seizures or Parkinson's. But like a striking feature in some people with monoclonus dystonia is the alleviation of symptoms upon ingestion of alcohol. But responses varies greatly even within individual families. Yes, that even happens in my family. That I I do not feel the same effects as others in my family. Um, ugh, I gotta go let my dog out of this room. He's in here. I'll be right back. I got a thing actually to play.
Hold that thought, don't move that chair. I just gotta dash somewhere. Tiny trip, it won't be long. Hit pause on the story, keep the song. I'll be right back. Gotta grab a drink and jump right back on track. Maybe take the dog out, quick little lap. Keep my place warm, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Doing that wiggle in my seat. Clock keeps ticking to the beat. One quick minute, I'll be fine. You can save my spot in line. I'll be right back. Gotta use the restroom, then I'm back on track. Maybe take the dog out, quick little lap. Keep my place warm, I'll be right back. Hey. Don't you change the channel, don't you close the tab. I'll be back before you miss me. Promise, pinky swear on that. I'll be right back. Gotta grab a drink and jump right back on track. Maybe take the dog out, quick little lap. Keep my place warm, I'll be right back. You can count me in when I come running back. Just a short break, then I'm back on track. Keep my place warm, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Hey!
Is Baby Squid dancing to it? It is pretty catchy. And yes, I forgot to unmute at first. Bad. Yes. I boomered it for a second. Yeah. I grabbed some Girl Scout cookies too because I think they're good for this too. You can hear the wrapper. Okay. So we'll go back to this on there again. We can finish up that and then I can tell you what. Okay. What's this therapy? They also, but okay, we'll talk about the medications first. And remember, I'm telling you, you have to see a doctor. This is the medications are like some crazy not you ain't getting these no place other than a neurologist. your your general practitioner ain't gonna be putting you on these and stuff, you know. These are things that but we started off because I wanted to not take stuff that had a lot of side effects and wouldn't be too hard to get off of because I knew there were some that would be tougher to get off of than others. So the first one we tried was Keppra. Um, that was a very short term experiment. Everything said it was had very little side effects, but it made me so tired and it actually made it worse. I sent a video within 2 weeks. I sent a video to my doctor and said it's just making it worse. I was sleeping, falling asleep at stupid times. Um, and then at night, I was having dreams that I would not wish upon my worst enemies. And, well, maybe my worst enemies, but only them. I mean, it was like they were not fun dreams. And she said, "Yep, quit taking them." And those were safe to just stop. So we tried that. That didn't work. Um, went to clonazepam, which I've heard a lot of people have luck with. Uh, I didn't even notice any side effects, nothing. I couldn't tell I was taking anything. I couldn't. nothing good, nothing bad, nothing anything. Did that for quite a while, and it was like, I I don't I don't see anything, and she kinda went, "Well, if there's nothing, we'll move on." Then we tried, and this is kind of for a couple reasons, we went to Depakote. Um, I am still on Depakote. Um, I don't think it's an easy one to get off of, but um I think it with other stuff, it's helped a little with some things. I didn't notice any side effects from it, um, but nothing major helpful either. I think if anything, maybe with, some of the psychological stuff, it helps a little bit. It can help with that. Um, then we added Cynomet to that. Um, at a low dose, it didn't do much, but we upped it, and then it helped some. And then I could see like I think there was like a 50% reduction, but I was sick. I mean, I would have horrible heartburn in the evenings when I took it. I took it twice a day, and in the mornings I mean, I had nausea and I literally had nausea. It wasn't just I felt like I might throw up. I did a few times. So it was like, well, that's not, and it was like, okay, it helps some, but how do we, you know, yeah. And I know she's talked about maybe we'll go off Depakote, but now some other doctor has said maybe I should stay on Depakote. That Dr. Sheldon, stay nameless. So now I am on zanisamide because that is what the new drug that has um, that there's been some research for myoclonus dystonia, and um, it does have pretty good track record of helping people quite a bit. Now, I haven't noticed a lot. I think it does calm me down, like, in general, that when I'm just sitting around not doing anything, it's better at rest than what it was. But if I'm trying to do something where it takes, like, even when I was writing down the names of the medications and stuff I'd been on, I was having trouble this afternoon, and it's like, okay, it didn't help with that, but it kinda helps with the just when I relax, because it's really annoying when you're relaxing and your head just won't stop going to the side time after time, or, you know, it can be a kind of a annoying thing. So that's where we are now with the zanisamide, but I do see where it can be put up some, so I'm guessing, and I've just had a couple other medication changes with my rheumatoid arthritis, so I don't want to change things too much. Yeah. The Depakote really didn't do a thing to me, uh, and they smell great. Those things, man, they smell great when you open up the pill bottle. That's one of the things. Better than taking, yeah, some of the stuff I take for, rheumatoid arthritis. Man, those things you don't wanna have hit your tongue. They're nasty. Yeah, it is, Frank, that, and I don't think many people would judge about kind of this stuff now. I mean, the thing is that when I was young, yeah, it was just yeah, it was tough, and then I pretty much became a recluse. I'll be honest about that because I could not handle people. I did not wanna be around people. People were not something I cared to have anything to do with because of, you know, it was it was not enjoyable to me, and I mean that up to quite fairly recently. I didn't like people or had no desire to be around many people, but a couple people have made me want to be around more people, and that's kind of why I'm trying now. But, okay, back to the some of the treatments. They can, and I've seen it now, like that young boy that they showed in there, he probably has gotten deep brain stimulation surgery, like they do for Parkinson's and stuff, where they put in, like, a pacemaker in your shoulder, run a wire up to your brain, put it in deep, and that can I've seen some where when they have it quite bad, it can really make a big difference. The problem is I don't have it bad enough. My neurologist kinda said, "Yeah, we probably could," but I kinda went, "I don't know that I want to go that far." That's a big that's a big, big step to yeah, that would be, you know, that would be maybe more than I would like to, you know and then there's the like they say, the complementary therapies with the physical therapy and occupational therapy. And I did do better even when I was exercising more. I definitely while I didn't it wasn't any better. My it felt like I had a little better control of it maybe. I don't know. Probably not, but at least my body felt better. But like the psychological things though, you definitely have to and anybody if when somebody in the future is watching this and like their kid has this because it can show up in families. If it's went down the mother's side for a while and they haven't seen it, it hasn't shown up for a few generations, they might not know it's in the family, and you're watching this just to see, what somebody's, you know, what their experience is in this. I would say the first thing is get them actual, like, support from somebody that has something at least some experience with this type of thing. It's hard for somebody to understand that can just go pick something up, pick a glass of water off the table and just drink a glass of water. I have to grab with both hands. And I grab with one hand and with my uh, push on my wrist with the other so there's force on it. And then if there's enough force on it, I can be smooth drinking something. And still at times I will I can still spill, you know. There's certain things I just won't do because I know, yeah, that it'll be a problem. But it's hard for anybody that isn't going through that to not to understand it. You can think you do. It's it's just like I can't understand somebody. I never could understand somebody with chronic pain until I went like a year with chronic pain. I always thought these people were like, "Ah, they can't hurt that much just for random things." And then I went a year where things hurt for no apparent reason, and it just, you know, it was just crazy. And then it's like, oh, a whole world, you know, lit up, and it's like, okay, now I understand what these people are, you know, experiencing. Yeah, squid, I'm sure it is like, you don't know what being pregnant's like unless you're pregnant. Yeah. And I don't everybody's got their issues, everybody's got their problems in life. I don't, you know, it's not it just mine was one where it caused me to retreat for a long time, and that's what I don't wanna see other people do that. And so that's why I'm kinda doing this, and I even shared on my Facebook stuff some of these pages because I know I have, you know, relatives who are young that will have this, and I want them and their parents to know that you need to, you know, get them, you know, in a support system. You can't just figure that they're gonna, you know, yeah, that they're just gonna be okay with it and that it'll toughen them up or something, because that sure didn't help. Yeah. Yeah, even chronic pain, it's 2 different things that, you know, yeah, I don't know even how we've handled it in my family. My dad was quite a people's person most of his life, even though he had this. So was my grandpa, I guess. I don't know. I did not know my grandpa. He passed away when I was like a year old. But uh but like me and my sister are not. We would rather not be by people. My brother used to be that way, but he kind of made himself get over that, and he's become a very outgoing person. And yeah, so it's weird how people can adjust to things and, you know, hopefully that and I am, you know, I'm definitely I wasn't gonna talk about it much, but, you know, I I am on things for my depression and anxiety. It's, you know, pretty much you better be because it's bad enough that not bad enough that it's dangerous, but bad enough that I could be annoying to people, I suppose. I can be, you know, I definitely was annoying to one person. Um, yeah, and so, yeah, you know, and even though as much as you think you explain to them, it's hard to explain how bad true true anxiety is, you know, it's and trying not to go down some of those roads, you know, but no, I consider myself lucky now that I have good healthcare people. I am I have people that listen to me, people that are trying to help me. I have people that counsel me, you know. Um, yeah, even people don't understand depression as common as them. Why are you depressed? It has nothing to be depressed about. No, it's like, and the worst thing is when you're like, yeah, being depressed is nothing about what is going on sometimes around you, even. It's just, I mean, things could be great and you just go, oh, okay, yeah. It just okay. It's like it doesn't, certain days you just do not feel it, and it's so hard to get people to yeah, and then medications to try to help you with that. I said, "Now, I don't I might not be as depressed and anxious as I was, but I also don't feel the highs like I did." It kinda tamps them down too, and it's weird. So it's trying to get the balance is very hard, you know, but you have to kinda go through this. It's not what I, had wanted to do in my 50s, but I should have done this, the one doctor I talked to said, if I had tried treating this 20, 30 years ago, the medications I would have been given would not have been probably good for me. I'm not so sure the ones now are so great for me, but they're probably better than what they would have been. But no, but hey, we're trying. We're getting better, I think. Someday, and yeah, and there are a lot of side effects to the medications I'm taking. I mean, yeah, I'm tired way too much. I mean, because even what I'm taking for not with this, like my rheumatoid arthritis, I'm taking um, methotrexate, and I'm doing that in a self-injection pen thing because I'm up to a fairly high dosage of that now. Um, I do that. I take hydroxychloroquine, which I'll probably now get banned because I said that, but this is an actual proven this is what it's meant for. It's a it's an actual thing that it's meant for autoimmune diseases. Um, yeah, and so then I have to take folic acid because otherwise the all the side effects that you would get from the methotrexate because that'll cause sores and all kinds of things. But it methotrexate makes you tired. That's one of the things it can do. Then I have the medications for some of my yeah, other everything has nothing I take is stimulant. They're all kind of somewhat depressants on me, and it just, you know, yeah, and I do. I'll tell you what, Frank, I do feel like a guinea pig, kind of, but I'm okay with it because um, I do have nieces and nephews and grandnieces and grandnephews that I am kind of doing this for. If I can find a couple things that help me, that I can say, "Hey, this might be a way you wanna look. Maybe check out this doctor," you know, I would feel fine, you know, I can some people get upset when I say this kind of stuff. I'm not, um, oh, yeah, I'm not that important compared to some other people, so that my importance is more that if I can help them feel better in the future, that is a big thing for me. And that will be a great accomplishment for me if I can do that. So I am fine trying some different stuff, you know. Yeah. I mean, it's not the most fun sometimes. I've been to a lot of doctor's appointments the last year. I mean, it's a lot, and but, hey, I get to know them pretty well then, and I have a couple pretty good looking doctors, so that's okay. I'm pretty good at getting female doctors. Um, yeah, no, it's amazing too that mine all know. I mean, they have asked me about things I've done that wouldn't be written down on a chart, so it's nice when they know me, like, they will ask me about my mom, that they know that I care for my mother and stuff, that I'm and they ask about that, and it's like, "Okay, I don't think you have that on your chart, really." They kinda some of them kinda do, but not the ones that have asked. So, if you're lucky and you get some good ones, it really is. So so, I think that kind of explains if anybody has a question about anything, I'm an open book. If there's anything you're wondering about, if it affects something or does something or, like, yeah, ask me, or if you think of something and the next time you see me some in on my stream, you wanna ask me something, that's fine. I'll answer it, just don't be too weird about it, you know? I once had a young lady think that maybe I'd be something like a built-in vibrator, but she didn't take me up on that after she thought about it a while. But she said it, not me. But, yeah, maybe we need a stupid joke or 2 to oh, that um, I'm glad you yeah, I'm glad you appreciate it, and I'm and I just wanted to get it out there, so and on this day and I mean, there's people with much worse rare diseases than me. I mean, AJ's little granddaughter, she's cute as a button, and her with what her challenges are ahead, she's got a lot more challenges than I do, you know? It's like, you know, I should have been able to overcome mine a lot better than I have, but she will. I can see she has a great support system around her, and so and there's that's the big thing, is that I hope, you know, that they that people, even anybody that sees this and is looking for movement disorder stuff or myoclonus dystonia learns that the biggest thing is to have uh, Haley Mouse. Which of the states are the most promiscuous swing states? Yeah, hindsight's 2020, but it actually isn't. Because I'm pretty sure if I went back, I'd just make different new mistakes. It wouldn't be I would just not make the same mistakes, but they'd be whole new mistakes. Why does Santa have such a big sack? No, not doing that, Haley. Come on, Haley. Okay. I suggested to my wife that we go to the bar separately to relive our first date. So I walked over to her and asked, "Hi, can I buy you a drink?" And she said, "Get lost. I'm not falling for that again." That would be, yeah. God, some of these are really bad. What do you call a dinosaur that wears a cowboy hat and boots? Tyrannosaurus Rex. Well, no, I know it doesn't diminish, but I know that, but it feels that way, and that's some of the self-esteem issues with the disease too that causes, you know, that was a very bad thing at very bad, yes. Well, that last one, the dinosaur one reminded me of T-Rex trucking, but where do Volkswagens go to retire? The old Volks home. In an interview, the boss asked me, "Do you have any experience?" I told him, "Yes, this is my 20th interview." That would be about my yeah. Oh, that was bad. Oh, I was given haggis as an in-flight meal once. I've had bad food before, but that was plain awful. Haley Mouse should get that at least. I gotta find there's gotta be better jokes out there. There probably aren't. What if people always way out of pain? Why do people always weigh out pain and suffering like a, well, it's just what you do. You know? Sandwich walks into a bar, the barman says, "Sorry, we don't serve food here." Guy walks up to a sexy girl and asks, "Where are those legs going to?" The girl says, "If nothing comes between, to the cinema." Oh, yes, I know, coping mechanism. I have a lot of them. I can change, I can change subjects really quickly. What do you call a fake spaghetti? Pasta. Boy, too bad. I've heard that one from, Gabby before. I used to play piano by ear. Now I use my hands. Boy, that one was bad. Oh, but hey, I think it was a good talk tonight. I got was able to open up and yeah, I know a lot of people don't believe in chronic pain and just say, "Get over it." And, oh, I got told by people in my family who never understood the amount of pain. I mean, I went I went 37-ish years without going to a doctor. You think I went 37 years without pain, without being sick, where I should have went to a doctor, but I didn't. But it got so bad, I couldn't sleep anymore. It was with some of this, it was like, and I didn't realize how bad it was that I couldn't sleep with that pain. It was, you know, an hour or 2 a night is all, and it was just yeah, it was amazing how bad it could be, and it seemed like nothing. I mean, it was just yeah, and some in my family were just saying, "Well, you're to that age now, you start hurting, just you go do something a little bit, and it just hurts the next day," and I'd say, "I did nothing. I I couldn't do anything the day before because it hurt so much." And then, like, it would start feeling better, and then I'd go to sleep, wake up the next morning, and hurt more, and it was just weird. Why did the chicken cross the playground to get to the other slide? Ba-dum-bum. Yeah. Oh god, that's bad. What do you call a rooster staring at a pile of lettuce? A chicken sees a salad. Ugh. Did you hear about the guy who's afraid of escalators? He takes steps to avoid them. How do you find it? Hmm, that was how do you find a cheetah in the dark? Use a spotlight. Yeah. I gotta go. Time to lay down. Thanks, Night, for telling me your story. And that squid, I'm glad you were here. And yeah, and I think we're about time to go here too. So I think I'm gonna. Oh, I gotta go get my ending thing wherever that is on my video for that. I forgot that video. But yeah, I think we're done now. So I'll try to. Yeah, I hope yours works out tomorrow in the evening, and I'll be over there. Well, Frank said I'm never much of a romantic. Last night, me and my girlfriend were kissing on the couch. He said, "Why don't you take this into the bedroom?" I said, "Okay, you take the other side." uh, someone with another disorder where people go, "What the fuck is that?" I command you for this. I'm not quite sure what you. I'll be over at your place tomorrow. You better, yeah. We will see you over at Squids and well, not Squids. That's at the not squid one. Did you put that in, Heidel? I didn't see if you make sure and get that in there. I'll eat a part of a cookie while you do that. Yes, thank you for the chat being here. Everybody, Frank Squid, Heidel, Haley Mouse, um, Gail, even Bobby from way back, and all the ones who left earlier and aren't talking now. But no, we'll we'll try to be over there and yeah. Just remember though, I'm glad to have you as viewers and friends. Just remember that it's a wonderful world out there. Goodbye, everybody. Take care.
Just spins it, whispers why. Those are not good. We'll meet again, I knew we would. But now the time, say the rhyme. Hope you had a time. Watch it. I enjoy this more than I had known. The sun may set, but it will rise. The echo lingers, soft and true. Every step still leads to you. Goodbye for now. Until next time. Say I enjoy your The sun may set, but it will rise. 1,000 colors. Oh, I'm truly dead. I enjoy your dancing more than the clock ticks slow, but you're